Good morning, comic book fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I am your ever-loving host, Shorty. You're probably thinking, what? On a Saturday? Yes, on a Saturday. It's a quiet-ass day in Huddersfield. You've been overcast outside. If I don't be able to pick up the rain, but it's coming down. So I figured, yeah, let's take some time and read something that's going to cheer me up on this dark and dismal day. So I figured, what better than a 2000 AD hardback special on brainwashing and cults in Northern England or potentially Scotland. And it's like, yeah, okay, let's see what happens in this one then. Brilliant. I'm in the mood. Let's go for it. And I did really like it, but this comes with some caveats. Now, two of these are, I think, going to be just down to my experience of like reading a buttload of comic books. Number one is the artwork. Now, I love this artwork. It's that kind of hand-drawn scratch stuff. There's an excellent like back scene kind of stuff with really simple watercolors, which are nonetheless absolutely effective. And then when you get some actual proper time put into it, you get stuff like that. Now, that is absolutely brilliant. And then when you look at that frame just opposite it, there's that sense of verisimilitude running through it. Both absolutely brilliant. I love the fact that they use the white as the negative space. Absolutely superb bit of artwork from Simon Davies there. Thoroughly enjoyable. But it also is so much what I associate with 2000 AD as an art style. The guy has done a lot of 2000 AD, specifically Slain, which are the few 2000 AD things I read a lot of. It felt almost like it was caricature of 2000 AD artwork, whilst actually just being 2000 AD artwork. And then I'm going to talk about the writing a little bit, which is brilliant, and it tells a fantastic story. I'm going to warn you, there's going to be spoilers coming up, so feel free to drift away if you are so inclined. But he does something which I've spoken before in the past, which I don't particularly enjoy, which is giving people accents in text rather than just assuming from giving a sense of place that you'll know what their accent is. Very much a tell rather than show, which I'm not a big fan of. But at least it feels authentic. It's not an American trying to do a British accent and forgetting that much like America, where a New York accent is very different from Alabama, there is more than one English accent. And this one does get a sense of the north of England or even Scotland, which is perfect. It sums it up brilliantly. And the other thing he does, which I think I'm probably one of the few people in the world it's going to be affecting, because I do read a buttload of comic books, and specifically a lot by the enigmatic Kieran Gillen, means when they're talking about, Grant Morrison for that matter as well, when they're talking about magic and how things are affected, it's actually just down to the words people use. Like all of language is a spell we cast on ourselves. And the stories we tell can shape reality. Now, I just read a lot of stuff where that is an overarching thing. Alan Moore does it as well. It seems to be a very British writer kind of thing. But I've got to be honest, unless you read a lot of that kind of stuff, I think you will just take something from them which is absolutely excellent. And that's because it is excellent. Those little niggly things will not get in the way of your enjoyment at all. Is it kind of a 2000 AD artwork? Yes, but it is not bog standard artwork by any stretch of the imagination. It is excellent, it is beautiful, it is brutal as well. And the story, yeah, okay, he messes around with the accents a little bit, but it still feels authentic. And yes, he's touching on to original concepts, but he has a lot of fun with them. The story throughout is brilliant. It's basically cult brainwashing. There's a lot of violence. There's some quite horrific self-harm coming up at the end of it. There is a lot of stuff in here which might not be great for everyone, but it's done deftly. And the one thing it does, and here's where I get into spoiler territory, I warned you earlier, if you're still sticking around thinking maybe I can get away with it, this is where you turn off. One thing I do like about cult kind of stories and with folkloric supernatural activities is they don't need to be supernatural. It could just be a bunch of people who believe in it and do terrible things to make it look realistic. This kind of stuff happens throughout this kind of storytelling. It's not like it's an unusual thing, but it's something where I personally just love to see it. In this one, there is so much supernatural imagery used, but every single bit of it could be explained by heightened mental states brought about by psychotropic drugs and brainwashing, for that matter. I mean, due to some of my friends having interest in this kind of thing, I've read a little bit about brainwashing and cults. And what they're doing in here is quite an accurate representation of how it works, like deprivation and repetition, ritual, and all that kind of thing. It's handled very, very well indeed, without really taking away from the absolutely sinister nature of it. Because when you get to the end, it never overtly says, yes, there is a supernatural thing behind it. It could all be in the people's heads. It doesn't take away from how damaging cults could be. It doesn't just be like, oh yeah, there are such things as cults, but this isn't that. This is actually a magical forest creature. It's like, no, it could just be from start to finish terrible things done to people, indoctrination, brainwashing, and abuse. and it highlights the absolute pitiless horror of that, and it does it in such a way that is just absolutely engrossing. There's going to be a second one of these coming out, and I'm definitely going to be checking it out. If this sounds like something you're going to enjoy yourself, go to your comic book store, find it, pick it up. You will not be disappointed. Anyway, that's it. That's all you get from me at a weekend. I'm done. I'm now going to enjoy a probably very, very quiet day at my comic book store. Look after each other, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.